Hey everybody, and welcome to a new vlog. So I don't vlog very often here, you guys probably know that. I have not really been confident in my vlogs before, but I'm gonna keep trying. So I had an idea for a vlog and decided that I wanted to do this one. So what I'm planning on doing is I have here the complete adventures of The Worst Witch by Jill Murphy. So I actually watched this show when I was growing up called The Worst Witch, and I can't remember what channel it came on or when it even came out, but I will show a picture here of what this show was when I was growing up. And I just remember getting home from school and hoping that I made it home in time to watch The Worst Witch because I thought it was a really cool show. Now, what I did not know when I was a child is that it's actually based off of a book series. And I found that out when I was just perusing Book Outlet and came across this box set. And I thought, well, maybe I can read these in September and October. And then I thought, well, why don't I just read them for a vlog? So I just decided that in September I was going to go ahead and vlog my experience. What I'm planning on doing is reading all of these and then watching The Worst Witch, a few episodes from the original. And also Netflix has come up with an adaptation of This Worst Witch. And I can't say that it's not good because I haven't watched it, but I can say that I'm probably going to be partial to the original. And so I'm going to watch the original and watch a couple episodes of the new one and then read these books and kind of compare and tell you guys what I think about them. I wish I would have read these books as a kid because then I would have been able to tell if they held up or not, but I can at least say if the show holds up, if I still enjoy it. And yeah, if you guys have heard of The Worst Witch or have read the books, watched either of the shows, let me know down in the comments below if you are familiar with this. And if not, I hope that I'm introducing you or maybe your kiddos, since these are middle grade, to something new around spooky season. So I've got a couple things I'm going to do today, including starting this series. So let's just go ahead and get into the vlog. Okay, today I am learning how difficult it is to set up a phone to vlog in your car. So right now I am on my way to a local, it's kind of like a flea market. It's an indoor flea market that goes on all the time. All these different people have booths set up, but they're not at the booths. So they, like, the store kind of manages everybody's booths and takes care of each person's money and kind of does, you know, like separates it or whatever. So anyways, I'm hoping that I'll find some cute fall things there. I'm not necessarily wanting to spend money, but I'm hoping like to window shop maybe a little bit. I was going to go to the local nutrition shop because they have some new fall flavored energy teas and I wanted to try those, but they're closed today because it's Labor Day weekend, in case you were wondering when I was filming this. So anyways, also I looked up The Worst Witch and I found out there's actually a Worst Witch movie that came out in the 80s. So apparently I need to watch that too. I don't know if I can get my hands on it or not. So I know I'll watch both TV series, but I am also going to watch the movie if I can. So there's a movie that came out in the 80s. I guess that was the first one. And then the TV show came out back in the 90s, I believe. I think it was like 98, or I put it on another slide or like at the beginning of the vlog and I still can't remember when it came out, but I know it was in the 90s. And then the new one came out in like 2017, I think. And the new one I also found out had a recasting in season 4. So this show and this like just storyline has gone through the ringer, it seems. So anyways, I'm excited to kind of figure out all of that and see what I think. But right now, I'm going to run to the flea market and take you guys along with me, and hopefully it will find something cute.
May you always find your way to higher ground. May you always keep your head held up high. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Just the sight of you when I'm at my weakest point makes a world of difference. Oh, you make me strong. Pretty little thing, you're a diamond in the rough, shining from within. I can tell that you're tough. Ordering a cup of love, feel it rising up and above. You will always keep my heart and soul strong. Plant your seeds and watch them grow. The light will always know where to go. You will always keep my heart and soul strong.
Okay, so the store was huge. I didn't end up getting anything, but I saw lots of cute things. So I'll definitely be back. That's my first time ever going in there. They just recently opened up like a couple months ago. So yeah, there's a lot in there, but yeah, it was kind of overwhelming. So I didn't get anything today, but I did see a lot of cute things and a lot of booths that I want to go back and revisit. So now I think I'm going to go home and get some more reading done. It is now Monday, and I have finished the first book and a half of the Worst Witch series, but right now me and Will are on our way to my in-laws for Labor Day. We're going to play some games, eat some barbecue, have some fun, just have some fun family time. So that's what I'm doing right now, but I did want to give you guys a quick update since I haven't given you one yet. So I did finish the first book last night, and I don't really feel like these are going to be easy to talk about because, like I mentioned before, they're like very early middle grade. So I would say probably like my 7-year-old self would have loved these, but my 27, almost 28-year-old self, not so much. It's not that I dislike them. I think they are 5-star reads for what they are. I just think as an adult there's not as much depth there because they're such younger books. But I do really enjoy the nostalgia of them, and I do really enjoy the illustrations throughout and the story. It's very, like, as I'm reading, I can see the show, I can see the school that they went to. The school was like a castle, and then their rooms were like stones because they're in a castle, and like there were very small quarters with a window. And I remember it talks about in the book how Mildred Hubble has bats in her room because the bats come in the morning from the night, you know, when she's waking up, they're going to bed, and they each have cats and everything. Like, I remember that being part of the show. And this, I think I remember that this starts differently than the show starts, because I think the show starts more or less like with Mildred and I can relate sometimes. But anyway, so those are the 2 books that I've read so far, or I'm almost done with this one. I will give y'all an update when I read a couple more, but I'm going to go ahead and get off here because we're almost to my in-laws, and I will update you guys later. Hello y'all, it is time for an update. It is currently Tuesday, and I wanted to give y'all a little book update and let you know what I'm going to be getting into today. So first of all, I already mentioned I did finish book 1 of The Worst Witch, and then I also ended up finishing book 2, and I really liked this one. So far, let's see. I also read this one. This is book 3, and so far out of the 3, I think the 3rd one has been my favorite. So this one, it took me a little bit to get into because, like I said, this is like younger middle grade, and it's very like surface level. There's nothing super in depth in there. There are things that you could possibly get annoyed with as an adult reading this because it's very kiddie, but I mean, it is a middle grade. So this one was okay. This one was okay. Started getting better, and then like this one, I just about hit myself with the book. This one was my favorite so far. And in this 3rd one, what happened in this 3rd one? I finished it last night, but I've been reading a lot of things at one time, so I feel like my brain is just not where it should be. So, okay, in this one, Mildred gets turned into a frog. I'll just say that much. She is starting her, so I said before, okay, this is like, there's 5 years in Miss Cackle's Academy. So this is like first term, second term of the first year, and this starts her second term. So she would be like, well, I was going to say she'd be like a sophomore, but there's 5 years, not 4, so I don't know. Anyway, so that is where this one follows, and then I'm going to be starting this one today. So this is The Worst Witch, All at Sea, and they get thicker a little bit as you go. Well, some of them are anyway. So this is like first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. So I'm hoping that I like this one even more because the thicker they get, the more I seem to like them. I definitely think Jill Murphy's writing gets better as they go. So that is my update on The Worst Witch right now. I think I'm also going to go ahead and start watching this series tonight just because I thought I wanted to watch the movie first, but I think I want to watch the old series that I watched first, watch a little bit of that, see how much is the same, and then I'll watch the others. But right now, I'm actually about to drop by the library. I'm not going to go in or anything. I'm just going to drop the Final Girl support group in the Dropbox because I finished that up and it's due today. But while I'm out, there are 2 new little free libraries that I have not visited yet. One is in my town and one is in the town next door. And so I'm going to go to those, and I don't really have any anticipations for like picking anything up for myself, but I have 4 books that I'm going to drop off. I have a middle grade and a like adult, like, so I have 2 for each one. So I'm going to go check those out and take you guys along with me. I thought that would be a little fun outing. And I think I'm actually going to go to the tea shop that I wanted to go to the other day, but they were closed. And it's a nutrition shop. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, if they are popular in your area, but they're like energy teas and protein shakes and stuff like that. But they have like this fall line of hot teas and other things. And I think I want to try something from there. So let's just go ahead and go. We're going to go get some tea, go to some little free libraries, and I'm going to take you guys along with me. So let's go. Hi, welcome to my car. Okay, so I got this tea, which I didn't mean to get this big of a tea, but here we are. And it's a hot tea, and it's part of their fall line, but it's not fall. And so I think I messed the poor girl up. She was like, I don't know where this is. So like, y'all see the clip from where I was in there. So I wanted to get the apple cinnamon tea because I felt like that was a pretty safe bet. And she couldn't find like the recipe for it, and I could tell like they haven't prepped yet. Like, it's not fall, it's 80 degrees out, which, you know, why do I need a hot tea when it's 80 degrees out? Because this is a fall vlog and because I want it to be fall, so I'm manifesting it like everybody else here on BookTube. Anyways, so I ended up like telling her like, you can change the flavor, it's fine. And so I ended up getting a cinnamon strawberry hot tea. And you're going to experience it with me for the first time. We're just going to pray that I don't, like, burn my mouth, so. That's actually really good. It kind of tastes like if you make apple cider or spiced cider with like Red Hots and apple juice, it kind of tastes like that, but it's strawberry and cinnamon. It's really, really good. Okay, that was awesome. That was a really good choice. So I've got my tea, and I'm going to show you guys the books real quick. Sorry about like the weird angle in the lighting, but like I'm in a parking lot and I just feel like it'd be super weird. I don't even know how to set this up either. So like we're just gonna do it from this angle. So these are the books that I'm taking to the little free libraries today. I'm at the first one right now, so we're about to go up to it. The first book I have is book 2 of Maybird, the Maybird series. So the first book was Maybird and the Ever After, and I want to read that, or I did want to read that. I think I've lost interest at this point because there's too many books that I want to read and not enough time to read them all. So I got this one from a library book sale because it was like 50 cents or $1 or whatever. So this is Maybird Among the Stars, but I just don't think that I'm gonna get to it, and so I'm just gonna put that in a little free library. And then I also have Once Upon a Camel by Kathy Apelt, which I feel like this is going to be really good, and it's going to be one of those books that like people really talk about, but I'm just, and this is an ARC, like I got this from School Library Journal, but I feel like of all the books that I want to read, this probably just isn't going to be one that I pick up pretty quickly, and I would like somebody to read it. It comes out this month, and so I'd really like somebody to get it and read it and be like, oh my gosh, like I want to share this, I want to tell people about this, I want people to buy it, and I just feel like somebody else would enjoy this more. So I'm gonna put Once Upon a Camel out, and then I have the little bookshop on the C. Okay, I don't know how to say this. Is it Cien or Scene? I don't know how to speak French, which I think I've mentioned a bunch of times here on this channel. Rebecca Raisin is the author. It looks really cute. Dreaming of a Parisian happily ever after. I mean, and it's around Christmas. I mean, it sounds good. I just, like, there's so many books that I want to get to. I just don't feel like I'll get to that one. This is a duplicate copy I got. I got this from Book Outlet. It's Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. But this one came really damaged, and that's not what I ordered. And so Book Outlet is really, really good about, like, sending you copies. Like, if there's something wrong, if you send them pictures and tell them, then they're really good about sending you another one. So I have another copy of this. This is my extra copy. I'm just going to put it in a little free library. So, yeah. I think for this one, I'm at a local YMCA. They just put one here. And I think for this one, I'm probably going to put Lily and the Octopus and Maybird. I think those are the two I'm going to take. So let's go up here and hope that there's not a lot of people up here that make me nervous to film. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I am filming at a little free library or anywhere else in public, it makes me nervous because I'm sure people are like, why is she filming? What is she doing? And nobody's ever asked me, and I'd tell them if they did, but I just feel like that's a super awkward thing because people just don't understand. People just don't understand what it's like to do YouTube unless you do YouTube. And so, yeah. Anyways, okay, let's go take the books.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
Okay, so that little free library was very small and very full, but I just put my books in there. I didn't see anything I really wanted, so let's just go on to the next one. Okay, I'm at the next little free library that is at a library, actually. So, also, in case you guys were wondering if these vlogs went perfectly, they don't. Do you see this? Why does this happen to me? Yeah, so I'm trying to drink that super fast, and it's an energy tea, so I don't want to because it makes my heart race. But, you know, this is life. This is real life. Everything's not perfect. Sometimes coffee cups aren't made well, and this happens. So, anyways, I am going to drop off Once Upon a Camel and the little bookshop on the CN. And I'm going to take you guys and hopefully not run into anybody because, once again, I'm a weenie. So, here we go.
You and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh,
Hello, everybody. Joey, say hi. Say hi, friends. I know you guys need more Joey content, so here she is. So the last little free library that I went to was super cute. They didn't have a lot of books in there, so I decided it was a good idea that I left those two that I did. I did not grab any from there. But I did have fun looking around today. I am about to start reading The Next Worst Witch. I've also been reading some other books outside of this. I read Midnight at the Barclay Hotel for my middle grade book club. I'm not going to say anything about it because that's for another video, but I read that. And I also read this super weird book called Follow Me to Ground. I would not recommend it. I liked Bunny, and Bunny by Mona Awad was a really weird, bizarre book. And I liked that, and this was very weird and bizarre too, but I did not like this one, so I would not recommend it. So I've been reading other things outside of this as well, but I am probably about to read a little bit more of The Worst Witch, and I think I'm going to go ahead and start watching the show. So that's what I'm going to do tonight, and I will update you when I have more to say. Hello, it is currently Wednesday evening and I've had a little bit of an off day. I decided to just kind of chill out and take a break from vlogging for a little bit, but I did do some reading, so I just wanted to give a little bit of an update and then also talk about the episodes that I watched from the last clip of the first few episodes of the 1998 version of The Worst Witch TV show. So I have read 5 books so far. I read The Worst Witch book 1, which basically just follows Mildred as she comes into the school and her being afraid of the dark, her having to, without spoiling too much, I can't tell you everything that happens, but like she had to do some flying on her broomstick, and some people might have gotten turned into animals and all that stuff. So that was like the first one. The second book is A New Girl Comes In. So Maud is her best friend from the first book, and then Enid comes in the second book. So now she has 2 best friends. And then this, wait, wrong one. This is the third book, and I believe I told you guys this was my favorite so far. So this one is where she gets turned into a frog. She also rescues a wizard. And in the fourth one, which is the longest book in the series, she ends up going with her form. So they're in form 2 now. They're all the girls stay together as they move up, obviously. And so her form gets to go visit the wizard at his seaside home for a week vacation during their term. And so they go out to his home, and there's some dealings with her cat Tabby here. One thing that you know about Mildred that I'll just go ahead and show you is everybody else has a black cat, and Mildred was stuck with a tabby, which its name is Tabby. So it's adorable. And then the last book that I just finished, book 5, is The Worst Witch Saves the Day. And this one you can kind of see Mildred gets a little bit tangled up in her hair, and some other things happen that I'm not going to mention just yet because I don't want to spoil the book. But I do want to, I wrote down some notes while I was watching the episode, and I want to compare and contrast the books so far with the 1998 TV show. There are 3 seasons. I believe that's all that there were 3 seasons. And so the first episode, Mildred is afraid of heights. She's afraid of the dark. I don't remember her being afraid of heights in here. I don't know that it may have been mentioned, but it wasn't a heavy thing. The first episode basically focused on Mildred coming into the school and being afraid of heights, being afraid of the dark, not being able to fly. She has to pass her broom exam. She has to fly her broom and pass the exam to stay at the school. And that's kind of the basis of the first show. Now, the first book, there was a little bit more to it than that. So they took it a little bit slower with the show. And I was like, is this going to add up with the books or not? I wasn't really sure. There are a lot of things that are similar. I really loved the casting. That is one thing I will say. I think all of the casting for that show was incredible. I loved who they casted as Mildred Hubble. I loved her friends. The teachers especially, it's exactly how I would have envisioned them, and it looks a lot like the illustrations in the books as well. So I really loved that. Miss Hardbroom, they talk about in the book her disappearing, and sometimes she would disappear and you wouldn't know if she was still there or not, and so they'd comment and she'd be like, she'd reappear and she'd be there. That happens in the show, and so I appreciated that also. The staff and the students are nicer to Mildred in the show, in my opinion, than they are in the book. They do get nicer as you go along, but I felt like they were, like there's just a little bit of a difference in vibes. And Ethel, who is the mean girl or the mean witch of the school, who likes to assist Mildred in getting into trouble or try to get her into trouble, she gets more of what I feel like she deserves in the show than she does in the books. It's not that she doesn't get what she deserves some in the books, but just it seems like a little bit more so in the show. I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but the book talks about, there's like this school song or whatever that they always sing. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think it's all of this song, but I think that they took the song and they put it as the show's theme song, or it was inspired by that. So I think that's pretty cool. What else? Let's see. So in the show, Mildred has a friend named Maud, and Maud is her best friend in the books, but she also has other friends starting out. And so that was a little bit different. She has Ruby, and I can't remember the other girl's name, but it seems like there's 4 of them at all times. And everybody, like I said, seems nicer to Mildred in the show. So that was another thing that was different. And then let's see, Enid comes in season 2 in the show, but Enid comes in the second book. So they kind of add some other things throughout. Like there are things that happen. Let me go and talk about episode 3 real quick. So episode 3 in season 1, that is when they get their cats. Now they get their cats in book 1 here. Also, let's see. So I'll just go ahead and mention Ethel gets turned into a pig in the book and also in the show, but it's a different outcome. And in the show, there's a boy that comes in. There's actually, so you have the cook or the chef who is a woman, and there's Fred who kind of helps with the chef and helps around the castle. And Fred is not in the books, and Fred's nephew or grandson, I think his grandson or something like that, comes and visits. His name is Charlie, and Charlie is a big part of this episode where Ethel gets turned into a pig, whereas Charlie is not present in the books. Fred, I think is his name, is not present in the books. So they add that in. I did recognize some of the quotes from the book in the show, so I really enjoyed that. There's also some more modern technology. So if you don't know this, the books were written in the 70s, and in the show, it was in the 90s, and they have like a boom box, and one of the girls, I think it's Ruby, she has little headphones and stuff. So you can definitely see there's differences there. So some of the episodes match the books, and some of them I feel like give a little bit extra. So that's kind of my stance on books and that series. Now I will say, and it may be because I watched the series first, but I think I prefer the 1998 series to the books, but I do enjoy the books. And I remember reading the first 2 books, and I was like, I feel like this is going to put me in a reading slump just because they're short, not because they're bad, but because as an adult reader who enjoys middle grade, these, like I mentioned before, are just a little bit shorter and more juvenile. But I've really started to get into them as I go. I only have 3 more books left. I think I'm going to go ahead and watch some of the Netflix show tonight. I'm going to save the movie till last just because I don't know. I feel like the movie is going to try to put everything all from the 8 books into one, but I'm not sure. And I'm curious to see, because that was the first adaptation of The Worst Witch, was that movie with Tim Curry, which I'm really excited about watching. So yeah, I will kind of keep you guys updated. Sorry, this was kind of a long rant of like an update, but I'm going to go ahead and watch a little bit of the Netflix adaptation of The Worst Witch and kind of see where that follows. and then I will give you guys another update probably tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Hello friends. Okay, so I finished up The Worst Witch to the Rescue. It is, what day is it? Thursday. So I finished this one up, and this is my least favorite so far. I just wanted to let y'all know. This one just made me mad. I feel like at this point we're on book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on book 6, and I feel like the teachers should know by now that everything's not Mildred's fault, and that Ethel is a hag. I mean, a witch that we don't like, let's just say. So I really didn't like this book. Just because it made me mad. So anyways, that one, and then I am working my way through this one. I'm reading a lot slower now. I can definitely tell I'm getting kind of tired of reading these, not because they're not good, but just because I don't binge series. Even if they're short, like, it's just a lot. So I'm working my way through The Worst Witch and The Wishing Star. And then I've got the, let's see, first prize for The Worst Witch is the last one. So I was going to wait until I finished these before I watched the Tim Curry 1986 movie of The Worst Witch. But I actually think I'm going to watch it now. So I'm going to watch it and then finish this. And then I'll probably finish this one tomorrow, which I am going to, me and Jovi are going to visit with my mom tomorrow a little bit during the day. So it'll probably be tomorrow evening before I get to this. But we'll see. I'm going to try to finish everything up tomorrow and give you all a last update on my overall thoughts of everything. So yeah, but right now I'm going to watch the movie, grab a snack, probably fold some laundry. So hopefully I enjoy it.
This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow. Today is a good day to live. This morning has a clearer light as any to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face.
Alright y'all, we finally made it to the end of this vlog. I finished up The Worst Witch, so I did end up reading the 7th book, which was The Worst Witch and the Wishing Star, and this one follows Mildred as she makes a wish on a star for a puppy, and you can see the little dog there riding on the end of her broomstick, and how that plays into the story is really cute. I definitely enjoyed this one. And then the last book is First Prize for The Worst Witch. This is the last book, the 8th book in the series, and it just kind of wraps up Mildred's journey. This is her 4th year in Miss Cackle's Academy for Witches. Next year she will be in her 5th year and her final year at the school, and she has hopes and dreams for different prizes to win at the end of 4th year going into 5th year. There are some aspirations she has, and there's also some more stuff that comes in about the dog, so you'll just see different stuff like that. And I really enjoyed this one as well. So I did end up finishing all of these. So once again, here is the whole set of the Worst Witch series. I am going to briefly talk about what I thought about the series, and I also haven't commented yet on the Netflix adaptation or the original movie that came out with it. So we'll start off by saying that I really enjoyed these. I do think my younger self would have enjoyed these better than my adult self, but I can appreciate a good story when I see one. I do think that this is one of those stories where you kind of get annoyed with the characters a lot. It kind of reminds me of Junie B. Jones in the sense that sometimes you just want to hit her over the head and be like, come on. And this story is kind of the same way. You have Mildred Hubble, who is the main girl, the worst witch, our main character. You have her friend Maud and her friend Enid. And then you have Miss Cackle, who is over the academy. She kind of serves as like the principal, if you will. And then you have Miss Hardbroom, who is over Mildred's form multiple times in school and is kind of the mean teacher of the school, but you can kind of sense that she does care a little as well. And then you have Ethel Hallow, who is the mean girl. She's terrible, and honestly, I wish she would have got more of what was coming to her, because I feel like her punishments and her, like, just what happened to her, like, was just not dire enough. So, but that is me as an adult reader also. So I did really enjoy the series. If I had to personally rate it off of personal enjoyment, I would say it was probably about a 3-star average read. For all of these, I'm going to rate them all the same. I'm not even going to rate them on Goodreads probably, but they're about 3 stars. And then as far as the Netflix adaptation goes, I did not like it enough to even watch past the first episode. The first episode was about an hour long. And if you saw in the clips, it introduced Mildred in this very modern day world where she was in an apartment. She lived in an apartment with her mom, and then Maud kind of crashes her broomstick over on the balcony, and she learns about magic. Mildred learns about magic, and she learns about this school that she's been seeing off on this hill across town, but nobody else can see anything magical or anything like that. And so Mildred goes to the school with Maud and tries to get into the academy, and it wasn't like, I mean, there were things from the first couple of books in it, just as well as with the movie and the other series, the series that I watched growing up, the 98 series. There were some similarities, but I just felt like it was so disconnected from what the original story was supposed to be, and the setting and the environment, and it just was too modern, and I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't like the casting. I'm sure the younger generation now might like it, but as someone who watched it's not the original, I guess, but the original series that they came out with, I prefer that more. Then we get into the movie. If you remember my reaction, then you'll know how I feel. I had to fast forward through so much of the movie. It was basically the same thing as the first couple of episodes of the series and in the books. It was following the same lines of they pitch off of Ethel being turned into a pig by Mildred, Mildred trying to get into the school, or Mildred flying her broom, Mildred getting her cat, all that. So that's what they base it off of. But the movie, like, some of the teachers didn't have the same names. Some of the characters weren't the same. The series of events wasn't the same. Tim Curry's character was the, like, Grand Wizard, I think, or something. And he didn't even look like a wizard. Like, the wizards described in the stories are like Merlin wizards, if you know. Think King Arthur's Merlin, you know, like long beard, white beard with the pointy hat with the stars and everything. Like, that's what it was described as, and Tim Curry did not do that. And then also the clip that I included was a little musical number, which there were plenty of in the movie. Actually, there were more than plenty, because I did not enjoy any of the musical numbers, and I thought they were all very cringy. So I am not a fan of the 1986 movie version of this series. Just read the books. Read the books, watch the 98 series. That's all I've got to say for you. Also, I do want to comment on one thing. So these books came out in the 70s. Harry Potter came out 90s, early 2000s, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But there were so many things about this that reminded me of Harry Potter, like where they went. It was a school for witches. It was very reminiscent of Harry Potter, like the brooms and the, like, there's head girls, and there are, I'm trying to think other things that reminded me of Harry Potter. Just, you know, you have all the classes, like the potions classes, you get your cat, you have your animal. It talks about in there that some of the other schools don't do cats, they have owls or other things. And I'm like, this is so much like Harry Potter, but it came before Harry Potter. So I'm just curious if anyone knows, if you've made it this far in the video, comment and let me know. Where did all of this originate? Like, is it just a part of history of witches, or like in this kind of, this would be more like assumedly folklore of witches, but correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I don't know anything about the history of these stories, but where did all of this come from? Because I guess Harry Potter is so big that you just assume this was the first, the best, but this was so much like Harry Potter, though so different at the same time. It wasn't like a chosen one trope, and it wasn't like there was a big villain, but the whole school and the magic system and the way everything was kind of structured was very similar. So if you know anything about any of that, let me know down in the comments. But I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I wanted to say? I guess not. I think we're good. So that was my reading vlog, Witchy Nostalgic reading vlog of The Worst Witch. I enjoyed this, though I was ready to finish it because I'm not a series girl. Like, I cannot just binge a series all at one time, even if they are short. So that did take a little bit out of me, so I'm glad for it to be over, but I did really enjoy filming this for you and going on a couple of outings with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. I don't do a lot of vlogs, so if you enjoyed this one or would like to see me do more vlogs, just comment down below and let me know, because I definitely need some encouragement in that area. Vlogging is just not my forte, but I would like to try more often. I am possibly going to do a birthday vlog if I can, you know, get around to it, and if I don't feel like super pressured, because it did take a lot out of me to do this, and I know it takes a lot out of all of the rest of the booktubers that do things like this, like weekly. I cannot imagine doing weekly vlogs and weekend vlogs all the time. You guys are awesome, and I'm not quite up to par with that, but I do love making these videos and talking about books with you guys, and so thank you if you've made it this far. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope to see you next time around. Bye, friends.